A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Rubina, and I work in Microwell, manufacturer of swimming pool dehumidifiers and heat pumps with currently footprint in more than 35 countries worldwide. Today's topic on the webinar is the new F-Gas Directive of European Union, which has a significant impact on our industry and, of course, on our products in Microwell and the overall HVAC products and markets currently in European Union. The presentation is very much focused on what we have in Microwell. It's not intended to explain the directive article by article, but more or less is more focused on products and its impact and future developments and directions that we have identified in Microwell. As before, there is an open Q&A session after the presentation, though we did try to incorporate as many questions as possible from the ones received in your registrations. So I hope I will reply most of your questions throughout the presentation. The new EU F-Gas Directive has a number 573/2024/EU. So we will discuss its baseline, why it's happening, why it has been adopted. We'll talk briefly about the content of it, and then more we'll focus on the impact on the pool dehumidifiers and pool heat pumps. The question why this initiative has been adopted, the answer to that question could be found almost 40 years ago, when there were these climate chambers, climate meetings, and subsequent worldwide agreements, starting from Montreal, then going to Kigali and the famous Paris Agreement, up to the European Green Deal, or then Fit for 55 and Repower EU, which happened in 2022. What is important, though, for us is that the new Directive 573 completely cancels and substitutes the former valid Regulation 517 from 2014. So whatever laws and procedures that were adopted in connection with 517 are now fully subordinate to the new 573. 573, very importantly, establishes a total eliminations of hydrofluorocarbons by 2050. And this is actually, for European Union mostly, it is a much more aggressive rate in reduction of hydrofluorocarbons. When it comes to the industries, pretty much our air conditioners or pool dryers and heat pumps aren't the only one. Of course, the new norm covers everything from commercial refrigeration, chillers, fire protection systems, footwear, tires, foams, really any products that use F-gas or fluorinated carbon gases. When we look at the graph of the phase down of the amount of gases worldwide, and I would start from well, first of all, what you see on this graph, first of all, you see the timeline starting from 2015 up to the 2050, and then you see the phase down in percentage, where 100% was the base from 2015. That was where it was agreed to take the base from. So 2015 year, and the amount of F-gases that is considered as 100%. Well, European Union at the moment, we are somewhere here. So it's a pretty huge reduction, going down almost 70%. But this was the original phase down procedure. Now we are in this yellow line, which is the new 573 directive phase down. As you can see, it's a quite more dramatic, mostly from 2027, where it's really half of the original agreement, and then in 2030 it decreases to 5% and then continuously to 0 in 2050. But overall, there's a big slash in 2027. Where do we stand as European Union compared to the other countries worldwide? Well, this blue line here, you can see that corresponds to industrial countries such as USA or Canada, which were then lately guided by Kigali Amendment. And the red line, that is the developing countries. Here, as you can see, there's a big gap between them and European Union. In the matter of fact, speaking about the gap between European Union and also the US or Canada is also quite considerable. So bottom line from this is that there is a massive reduction in allowed usage of hydrofluorocarbons in any devices or in any applications we have in the market. Looking at the technology, well, before where we had, I don't know, maybe I still remember usage of R22, which was quite common maybe 15 years ago still, where those were completely, well, I would not use the word canceled, but they were transferred to hydrofluorocarbons, where we have the R410, R407, R32. This was, 10, 12 years ago, R32, 8 years ago. I could see the exhibitions, for example, in Germany now in Nuremberg, children's exhibition, the big green planets and waves and everything was green, announcing the new hydrofluorocarbons. That was done. Right now we are in a new phase, and practically we are going to hydrofluoroolefin, for example, the R290. So that is the direction, let's put it this way, that has been set finally with the new regulation 573. The new regulation 573 was officially issued in the EU journal on 11th of March 24 this year. It's a form of regulation, which means there is a principle of primacy, or in other words, the local national laws are subordinate to the EU regulation. That means the regulation became immediately in effect on 11th of March 2024. Of course, the dates that this regulation contains are not primarily binding in March 24, but they go 25 and 27, etc., etc. So the norm has been in effect since 11th of March, but particular dates that we will discuss today, they stretch out to 2035. At first glance, when we looked at it, the heat pumps and air conditioning, they were totally clear. I mean, you could look at the norm, at the regulation, and the description of it, like what it means, what they mean by air conditioning, what they mean by heat pumps. It was clear without any disputes. We could go on. What was not clear was the description of swimming pool dehumidifiers, and the question was if that is in scope or not in scope. And that's the reason really why we didn't do this webinar long ago in the summer this year, but we only are doing it now in October, because throughout June and September we spent really enormous amount of time in discussion with the European Commission and local refrigeration associations, European Heat Pump Agency, etc. Many people. I was doing it myself also in Microwell here, and we were trying to figure it out if a swimming pool dehumidifier, which in Microwell is number 2 product in terms of volume, is actually in scope or is not in scope of this regulation. Well, and the result was that the swimming pool dehumidifier is in scope, so it's in effect. Technically speaking, I put here a definition how a swimming pool dehumidifier is regarded in this norm, and that's really only mentioned as air conditioning, and means the process of treating the air to meet the requirements of a conditioned space by controlling its temperature, humidity, cleanness, or distribution. And the biggest dispute was that swimming pool dehumidifier can't control the temperature, cleanness, or distribution, but it can only control the humidity, and only in direction of reducing the humidity down, so it cannot increase it up. In any case, this discussion is over, and I can officially claim that swimming pool dehumidifiers are in scope. The biggest change for them is that as of 1st January 2027, a refrigerant with bigger GWP, which is global warming potential, bigger than 150 is not allowed, is forbidden. We'll explain in later slides what it means exactly, that it's forbidden here. On swimming pool heat pumps, it was very much clear, because a description of a heat pump doesn't distinguish if it's air-to-air or water-to-water, or a house heat pump, or is a geothermal heat pump, or is a pool heat pump. Doesn't really cover that, which is not necessary. Of course, what's necessary is the description here, that is a piece of equipment capable of using the ambient heat or waste heat from the air, water, or ground, and to provide that heat into the heating or cooling. So this perfectly fits the technical description of this product. And since Microwell is not only dealing with pool heat pumps, we also deal with house heat pumps extensively. And the description has been clear since day one. The dates again are very aggressive. If you look at monoblock heat pumps with up to 50 kilowatt capacity, again, global warming potential 150. More than that, forbidden from 1st January 27. If we look at the split heat pumps, there is a distinguish between the split heat pumps up to 12 kilowatt, and then from 12 kilowatt to bigger. So up to 12 kilowatt, there is again 27 year, and bigger heat pumps, they are up to year 2023. So there is still time to switch on those. Looking at the refrigerants, what this global warming potential number mean? Well, these are the four, or let's focus on three currently most used refrigerants in our industry, with pool dehumidifiers and heat pumps, and also these are the most used refrigerants that we use for our production in Slovakia. So starting the first one, R410A, is a global warming potential number more than 2,000. The new F-Gas regulation is very focused on forbidding anything that's bigger than 2,500 here. So anything that is 2,500 here is forbidden completely from next year, and then the service maintenance on those devices too, with some exemptions on military and some safety requirements. So this definitely, the gas has higher than 150. So this is in scope. We have to regard that. Some units still use R407, especially the big commercial heat pumps that we make up to 450 kilowatts. They use this refrigerant with a GWP number almost 1800. Again, we have to regard that because it's more than 150. The notorious R32, which has been with us, if I'm not wrong, in Microwell production since 2015. which was a big step for us, of course, and I think for all our overall for the market. We saw also the air conditioning units, the split units, and the monoblock and house heat pumps switching really rapidly on R32 approximately 5-6 years ago. Well, again, before allowed GWP number was 750. Everybody thought R32 would be a long-term solution, but that is gone. And also this is bigger than 150, so we have to regard that. And where we might possibly be going, and that's also the message from Chillventa exhibition currently going on in Nuremberg, Germany, that the market is switching heavily to R290, which is propan gas. This is a GWP number 3. I put here in the word 3, so there isn't any dispute for those not familiar with the technical specifications of this gas. So it's not 300 or something. It's not a mistake. No, it's not a mistake. It's actually a 3. So this is I would say a top level overview of the gases and where we are, where we stand. Anything above this line will be in most cases forbidden from 2027. There are exceptions, like I mentioned, for split heat pumps and for military, etc. So that's where we are. And now the most important is for you as our customers, what it actually means for Microwell products. Well, I spent some time trying to figure it out in what form I should make you the overview of the product so you can better understand it. If to use the pictures and the product names, or just to give you the product names and the dates and with all the information what will happen after the dates. Well, this is in my point of view the best view, or the clearest view I could have figured out. So let me brief you on that. First of all, from the left, you see the refrigerant currently used R410 and R32 on products, pool dehumidifiers and pool heat pumps. So pool dehumidifiers are at this moment as we speak 100% on R410A. This is the monoblock dry 300, 400, 500, 800 to 1200 line. This includes all the makes from the wave, metal, silver, duct, through the wall, horizon, also the split heat pump dry siren. So these monoblock dehumidifiers will be allowed till 2027. It's a clear conclusion for us that we'll be replacing with most likely R290 models. We already have made steps in terms of searching for components, mostly, of course, compressor, and then compliance with current heat exchangers, and then the regulation and everything that needs to be incorporated in the machines. R290, I will explain later, is more dangerous to work with than, for example, R410A or R32. So the units will have to suffer some production cost increase in terms of addition of certain hardware, which is needed to evaluate the safety of the operations of the machine. But we will cover that with you when we have like real tangible results from R&D. So once again, all currently used dehumidifiers for indoor pools, year 27. A split dry siren dehumidifier, that is actually with R410A only allowed this year, and from January 25 is forbidden. So we are replacing it with the R32 version, which I can say we already have in R&D. It's actually a fully functioning prototype, which as we speak has passed all the necessary testings. So whatever orders you will make for this device also at this time, fourth quarter 24, we will make it already with R32 gas. All right, well, Then switching to heat pumps. In heat pumps, we have more lines of heat pumps, so I try to distinguish it. First of all, there are these big on-off two-fan machines. Who knows me personally knows I'm tall, so these machines are pretty much as tall as I am. So the monoblock machines, again, they will be allowed only till end of 2026. The split heat pump, the 23 and 24 kilowatt, that's only allowed till end of this year. And after that, we will cease its production because there isn't any way how we can convert the machine so quickly. So this machine will be discontinued from 1st of January 25. And if we talk about the splits, which is approximately 40% of the production of these big models, then the splits are allowed till year 2029, which gives us another 5 years to come up with a solution. So those are the big on-off machines. Then monoblock machines, which are currently running on R32. They are all forbidden from capacity small to big. They are all forbidden from 1st of January 27. So it's clear for everybody we are switching to R290. Practically the house heat pump market, if I can mention it, that also Microwell is in with brands LG and Midea. That has been trying to make the switch already from this year. The sales are not high this year, but we expect also next year to be a little bit higher. But 2026 definitely will be the switching year also for Microwell for these pool heat pumps. In 2026 season, we are bringing R290 units. At this moment, as we speak, we already have functioning prototypes, 15 and 27 kilowatt with R290 gas. So if anyone is interested, they can come here to Microwell and we can take a look. Then it's a monoblock commercial units from 60 to 450 kilowatts. These are allowed to 2030, which gives us really 5 and something years of netto time. We will watch closely the initiatives in European Union if they might reconsider what to do with these big units. If they don't reconsider, then we also think that we will continuously switch to R290 propane gas with these ones. So these were all monoblock machines, the on-off machines on R410 and the monoblock on R32 inverter machines. And then let's speak about the inverter machines splits. Again, they are according to this new regulation divided according to capacity to up to 12 kilowatts and from 12 to bigger. So the small ones in Microwell, it's only 3 models. It's 11 kilowatt 4-season machine, winter machine, the 11 kilowatt seasonal machine. They have to be ceased 1st of January 27. We expect to convert them with monoblocks to R290 gas. This is perfectly doable. It's been done also in Australia for several years, and we spoke to a local Slovak certification body, which is starting certification for R290 gas handling from next year. So this should be perfectly fine to switch in 2026. The big split heat pumps from 15 kilowatt onwards in our case is 15, 17, 21, and 27 kilowatt whole year machine, and then the 15 kilowatt seasonal machine. They are allowed till 2033. So this gives really almost 9 years of timeline. There is plenty of time to figure the solution out. Bottom line out of that is that we, as we speak, we are going into the R290 direction. Although we are discussing the R454 or R455, we have seen also some initiatives in Chilventa exhibitions, and also in big names such as Danfoss. that are also considering these gases. I think it's worth of consideration for us, and we will certainly inform you what our R&D department comes up with when the time comes. So once again, this is the overview of the Microwell machines and what happens with them after these particular dates. Again, if something is forbidden from 1st of January 27, we will bring a compliant product. For example, in this case, R290 product already in 2026. So you will have almost 1 year time to convert all your marketing network, website materials, product training, etc., etc. So this is a good timeline, good strategy for us that we selected to go with. If you have any questions on this one, you can certainly let us know. In the future, you will be once again advised up ahead. We also prepare some blogs, some information, marketing leaflets, and email information that we will email you on a regular basis. I made a quick slide about what it actually means when we talk about a gas. Each machine that uses F-gas has a mandatory labeling or mandatory requirements when it comes to marking of the machine. So you can't just produce a refrigerant-based machine and just doesn't label as refrigerant. You have to label it. So in Microwell, this is the label, for example, of the biggest dry 1200 Horizon pool dehumidifier. It contains a 2 kg of R410. This is a 15 kilowatt seasonal heat pump. It's a 650 gram of R32. And then this is the commercial 150 kilowatt heat pump unit, which contains 6 kilograms of R407 in one refrigerant circuit. It has 2 circuits, so it's a 12 kg altogether. And then you have the equivalent in CO2, which is mandatory to mention what it means in CO2 equivalent. So we'll always simply follow the label, nameplate. This information is also stated in the manual and technical instructions. Propan. So this is a very brief, I would say, frame or heads up about what it actually means, the propan, what it is, how it is used, technically what you can expect out of it, etc. So let me cover you on this one. First of all, why propan? Again, as we mentioned in previous slides, this is the why, because the global warming potential number is 3 compared to currently used gases, 2,675, almost 1,800. So this is the reason why we are switching to this gas. It has, just like any other gas here, it is a 0 ozone depletion potential. So in all of them, you would find a 0 in a table. What is, however, different, and that's like the biggest distinguish here, and that is the safety classification. So while R410 was A1, which is non-flammable, R32 was A2L, which is a mid, but this R290 is A3. That means highly flammable gas. It's low toxicity. Yes, it's heavier than air. It goes down when you get the leak. It's not going to be around yourself, but it goes down because it's heavier than air. But it's highly flammable, class A3. So anybody working with it in production, for example, here in R&D, in installation, in maintenance, in service, everybody really must understand that, hey, this is not R410. If I got even 3 kg of R410 leaking out somewhere, fine, nothing really happens. With R32, if you reach, I think that's 13.1%, then it's flammable. But with propan, it's it's class A3. So you have to be very careful about that. So that doesn't really happen. We had a special presentation by a local refrigeration association here in Bratislava in Slovakia on the International Refrigeration Conference, where they really explained us several cases of accidents caused by propan, why it happened, what happened, etc., etc. So these are disadvantages, I would say. This is of course advantage. This is a big disadvantage of the gas, but let's talk about the advantages of the gas. Why it should be used. Well, first of all, you need a lower refrigerant amount, lower charge. I'll give you an example on a dry 500 pool dehumidifier, which can cover really a well-sized private home pool with, let's say, 50, 60 meters squared pool. We have right now 750 grams of R410 gas. According to initial calculations and simulations, we might need only somewhere around 130 grams of R290. So 1/6 of the original amount. Comparing for the heat pumps, that is also of advantage because, as you are fully aware, air-to-water heat pump extracts heat from the surrounding air. And when the surrounding air temperature drops, let's say to -10 or -15, we have today here folks from Europe as well as folks from Middle East, from Qatar and Saudis I can see in Dubai. So of course these are not going to use the function of R290 in -10 degrees, but here in Europe we will use it. So these gases here, they had really steep drop in -5, -10. R290 is more of a line, which of course goes down, but it's not like steep drop as on the former hydrofluorocarbons. So overall, if you look at the SCOP, which is a seasonal COP or the average COP throughout the season, so not just the maximum point COP, but the average throughout the season, you're looking at 15 to 20% more 15 to 20% higher efficiency on propane gas. Of course, disadvantage, like I said, is the safety, and you really gotta be cautious about what you're doing with the machine. In Australia, for example, they have been using propan for more than 5 years, so they got pretty good experience with it. We shouldn't be worried about this. So bottom line, when I say, well, R290 really closes some opportunities, it also really gives us a lot of space where we can grow, and it gives us a lot more opportunities in return. So we hope to convert this change to bigger business with you guys as well and in the market. Let's talk about a little bit about maintenance and service, well, because this is also covered in the new norm, which regards, of course, European Union folks that we have here right now, out of European Union, Qatar, Dubai, Saudis. I see name list. Of course, this is not applicable for them. This is applicable for Europe. Very simple. From 1st of January 2032, anything that has a bigger global warming potential than 750 is forbidden to service or maintain. So when it comes to Microwell devices, that's anything. All the dehumidifiers here, all the heat pumps that currently run on R410A will be forbidden. On dehumidifiers. By standard, we provide a 5-year warranty for compressors. So if we make a change in 2026 for R290 and 2026 plus 5 years, that's 2031. So there's still one year gap. So we're fully confident to be compliant with this and to provide to our customers the warranty period of 5 years that we are providing by standard. Gas leak checks. This was a question received in your registrations because you were really interested about how the new norm or new regulation guides the gas leaks. So I prepared this slide for you. Again, it is very much focused on the number of 10 tons of CO2 equivalent. So if you look at the biggest Microwell monoblock dehumidifier, only has 2 kg of R410, which is something about 4 tons, and the biggest 35 kilowatt heat pump, on-off heat pump, is 6.5 tons. So all the machines, the pool dehumidifiers and the small heat pumps up to 35 kilowatt, they are excluded, and you don't need to worry about the gas leak checks. It is in some countries it is mandatory to have a gas leaks above 3 kg or 3.6 kg. So please have a look at that. From maintenance perspective, as a manufacturer, we simply suggest you to conduct gas leak checks even on these devices every once in a while, just to be sure that they are properly maintained. Now, if we talk about the big machines, the Max and IMAX heat pumps, the gas leak check is mandatory because of the amount of the gas. As you remember this slide, this is 150 kilowatt machine, which includes 12 kg of the refrigerant, or 24 tons. Well, this norm covers anything bigger than 10 tons or 10 kg. So on the smaller big commercial machines, it's every 24 months, and on the bigger commercial machines, it's every 12 months. We suggest to really comply with the local requirements when it comes to documentation and all the things that you need to cover for records. Another question was about the personal certification. Those of you who install split heat pumps were guided before by 517. We have confirmation, and that's also written in the regulation, but we also discussed that with the local refrigeration body here in Slovakia. We have confirmation that the certifications issued by 517 or under the validity of 517 are valid. I think there is a time frame of 5 years when you need to comply with the new ones. For the new propane gas, the certification starts next year. Here, for example, in Slovakia, they start from about April, May time. So here in Microwell, we have about, I think, 25 people with F-Gas certification. So we start with them from April, May 2025. We buy new equipment, recovery machines, bottles, everything. We have to pretty much redesign our warehouse, redesign our production facility to be compliant with handling of R290. So all of that we would like to do in time frame of first half 2025, and then release work 100% on an R&D. So in 2026 we can bring you really machines which are compliant. Penalties, of course, that's a very interesting topic for everybody. We received some questions on that. What happens if we try to play blind? What happens if we try to behave that we have not heard about this new regulation? Well, we do not recommend that, of course, even though the regulation 573 specifically gives responsibility to member states, but establishes some base where you are subject to financial penalty in the amount of 3 to 5 times the value. And this is very interesting here, the value of the F-gas. And there is a word "or." It's a very interesting wording of this particular part of 573. There's a word "or" the device. So of course, 3 to 5 times the value of the F-gas. Yeah, that's not big money really per unit. But if you're talking about the money of the device that you have to pay 5 times fine of the the amount or the cost of the device, of course, that's something you can't survive with. And of course, there is a quota reduction for those who also import quota or create quota. Last slide, ladies and gentlemen, is about our webinars. Currently, we are having this webinar in English. We are having subsequent webinars for this topic also in Slovak language, Hungarian, etc. If you would be interested to join, of course, in Slovak or Hungarian, another language, local, we are happy to have you. But I think we'll stick to English. Then please mark this date, 31st of October. We will cover tips and tricks for dehumidifiers, how to install them, what to do during the startup, what to do, how to maintain the machines, how to service the machines, show you wrong installations, so show you good installations, good examples, bad examples. Simply, we will try to technically elaborate on the pool dryers. And then on 7th of November, we will cover the novelties for dryers and heat pumps for 2025. So we have quite some interesting novelties for 2025 with design, with technology, with some sound absorbing thing, and also regulation with Wi-Fi and IoT consoles. So there are pretty interesting novelties there. So these are 3 webinars. I mean, these 2 where I would like to see you as well. And many thanks for today. I'm done with my presentation. I have in my private chat only 2 questions. So if you allow me, I will answer these questions. And if you don't have any further questions, then many thanks for your attendance. Once again, our marketing associate Andras will upload this video to YouTube, and also we will make some sections of 2 or 3 minute videos where you can watch afterwards. All right. So the question is, if the make of a pool dehumidifier, for example, wave or metal, has any impact on the norm? Answer is no. Our dehumidifiers, we make them, the inside part of a dehumidifier is always the same, refrigerant parts, refrigerant type of refrigerant, and from the outside, if you have a wave or through the wall or ducted, that's just the outside make of the machine, so it doesn't have any impacts on the norm and the date of cease. If it's R410, we have to cease 1st of January 27. The same question is for heat pumps. If we distinguish between the 4 season and the 3 season or commercial, again, the answer is no. The norm, the new regulation doesn't cover any additions such as Wi-Fi, controls or makes of the machines. If it's a winter machine with a heating spirals, or if it's a tropical machine for Saudi, where you have much bigger evaporator, you got an injection cooling compressor, which is a direct injection to cool the machine down in 55 degrees ambient, etc. No, it has absolutely no outcomes for the norm. It only has the outcome about the gas used inside the machine. All right, Tulasiram from Qatar is asking, R290 in dry will face issues to air freight. Yes, of course. R290 will be completely forbidden, but also R32, as we use currently in heat pumps, is completely forbidden since its adoption. So since 2019, since we had it in our portfolio, we also couldn't transport by air. You need to recover the gas, remove the gas, and send the machine empty. So it's easy to do, and I know you guys in Qatar are very skillful, so I don't think it will be a problem for you to fill the gas. Of course, then you need to mind the safety procedures. All right, don't have any other question. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, many thanks. We will publish this webinar online. And I wish you a nice rest of the day. We have 10th of October, and inshallah, I think, yes, currently 18 degrees Celsius will be 24 which is very rare for this time of year. So once again, many thanks, and have a good day and good rest of the week.